Learning about HTML and CSS. You have already learned about some programming languages. In this chapter, you will learn about a programming language named HTML that can be used to create and design web pages on the internet in the form of documents. Learning objectives. Hypertext markup language. HTML code. Structure of an HTML document. Creating and saving an HTML document. Cascading style sheet, CSS. Ways to use CSS. Hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language, HTML, is the standard markup language used to create web pages in the form of documents to be displayed on the World Wide Web, www. You can create, modify and beautify web pages with the help of various elements of the programming language. The word HTML is made up of two terms, hypertext and markup. Hypertext refers to the interconnected links that allow users to navigate between different pieces of content on the web. Markup refers to the set of codes or tags used to structure and format the content of a web page. These tags provide instructions to web browsers about how the content should be displayed to the user. HTML5. HTML was created by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991, but the first standard HTML specification HTML 2.0 was published in 1995. HTML has gone through various versions over the years, with HTML5 being the most recent and widely used version. Given below are some features of the version HTML5. It is easy to understand and use. It can be used with any kind of browser. No additional software required to execute code. It does not require any prior knowledge of programming languages. It allows you to display different multimedia components together in a web page. Rules for writing HTML5 codes. HTML follows a set of rules and guidelines to ensure that web pages are properly structured and can be displayed correctly by the web browsers. Some of these rules are listed below. An opening tag must have a corresponding closing tag. However, some elements, like less than image greater than, less than br greater than, and less than input greater than, are self-closing and do not require a closing tag. Nesting of tags should be done correctly. HTML tags are not case-sensitive, that is, less than body greater than, less than body greater than and less than body greater than all are considered to be same. However, it is recommended to use lowercase tags for consistency. While writing HTML tags, the tag names should not contain white spaces. The browser does not recognize spaces in a tag and consequently displays the wrong output. For example, the browser considers less than p greater than as an incorrect tag. The HTML elements can contain one or more elements within them. For example, if you want to make some text bold and underlined, you can use both less than b greater than and less than u greater than tags together. Use HTML comments to add notes to your code. The comments are not displayed in the browser. HTML editor. An HTML editor is a software application that can be used to create and save HTML documents. There are two main types of HTML editors: WYSIWYG editor and text editor. WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. Editor. A WYSIWYG editor offers an interface along with some features to develop web pages easily. While using this editor, you do not need to type in an HTML program or code. In fact, you directly just have to insert graphics, hyperlinks and tables and the editor will automatically generate the code. For example, Adobe Dreamweaver, Maya, and Google Web Designer. Text editor. A text editor can be made to use when you have some knowledge on how to write an HTML code. Unlike WYSIWYG editors that provide a visual interface, text HTML editors require you to manually write the HTML code. Notepad and WordPad are the two most commonly used text editors. HTML code. Different components that together make up an HTML code include elements, tags and attributes. Elements and tags. HTML elements are the building blocks of a web page. They are the fundamental components that define the structure and content of a web page. Each element is represented by a tag, which consists of an opening tag, optional attributes, content, and a closing tag. The opening tag indicates the beginning of an element, and the closing tag indicates its end. The opening tag starts with a less than sign, less than, followed by the tag name and ends with a greater than sign, greater than. For example, less than p greater than is an HTML tag used to begin a paragraph. The closing tag is similar to the opening tag except it is preceded with a forward slash. For example, less than /p greater than is a closing tag. An HTML element can be one of the following two types. Container element. An HTML element that has both opening and closing tags is called a container element. For example, less than p greater than my first paragraph, less than /p greater than. Empty element. An HTML element that has only the opening tag is called an empty element. For example, the less than br greater than tag, which is used to insert a line break, is an empty element and does not require a closing tag. HTML elements can also be categorized into block-level elements and text-level elements. Block-level elements typically create a new block or container, while text-level elements affect the formatting or behavior of specific portions of text. For example, paragraph less than p greater than and heading less than h1 greater than to less than h6 greater than are block-level elements, whereas bold less than b greater than and superscript less than sub greater than are text-level elements. Attributes of an element. Attributes in HTML provide additional information about an HTML tag. They are used within the opening tag of an element. Each attribute has a name and a value. The name is the property that you want to set. The value is what you want for the respective property. For example, less than body color equals blue greater than. Here, the color is the attribute of the less than body greater than tag, and blue is its values. This statement is used to set a blue color background for the web page. Structure of an HTML document. The structure of an HTML document is defined by a set of elements and their arrangement within the document. The basic structure of an HTML document is given below. Less than. Doc type HTML greater than. Less than HTML greater than. Less than head greater than. Less than title greater than. Less than /title greater than. Less than /head greater than. Less than body greater than. Less than /body greater than. Less than /HTML greater than. Important note. When you run an HTML document in a browser, the content inside the less than body greater than tag is displayed on the web page, and the content inside the less than title greater than tag is displayed on the tab of the web browser window. However, the content inside the less than head greater than tag is not displayed at all. Every HTML document consists of 4 major container elements: less than, doc type HTML greater than, less than HTML greater than, less than head greater than, less than title greater than, and less than body greater than. Less than, doc type HTML greater than tag. The less than, doc type HTML greater than declaration is not a tag but rather an instruction to the web browser that indicates the version of HTML being used in the document. It should be placed at the very beginning of an HTML document, before the less than HTML greater than tag. The declaration informs the browser that the document is written in HTML5. HTML element. The HTML element is the root element that wraps all the content on the page. Every HTML document starts with the less than HTML greater than opening tag and ends with the less than /HTML greater than closing tag. This element contains head and body elements as well, which further contain other elements. Head element. The head element includes the identification and additional information about the HTML document, such as title and keywords. The content written within this element is not displayed on the web page. Title element. The title element sets the title of the HTML document, which appears in the browser's title bar or tab. The title of the web page is enclosed between the less than title greater than and less than / title greater than tags. Body element. This is the main content area of the HTML document. It contains all the visible content, such as text, images, links, and other HTML elements. The actual content of your web page, text, images, tables, hyperlinks, etc., goes between the opening less than body greater than tag and the closing less than / body greater than tag. All other elements along with their attributes are enclosed within the less than body greater than and less than / body greater than tags. Nesting of elements. In HTML, nesting refers to the practice of placing one HTML element inside another. It allows you to structure and organize content on a web page by creating a hierarchy of elements. Each nested element is contained within its parent element. When nesting, it is crucial to ensure that opening and closing tags match correctly to avoid syntax errors. Important note: the tags are nested on LIFO, last in first out, principle. That is, the tag that has been opened last needs to be closed first. Creating and saving an HTML document. To create and save an HTML document using Notepad, follow these steps. Step 1. Open Notepad and type the following HTML code in the Notepad window. Writing the HTML code. Step 2. Click the File menu and then click Save. The Save As dialog box appears. Step 3. Choose a location on your computer to save the file, and type first webpage.html in the file name text box. Step 4. Click the Save button. Save option under File menu. Click the File menu. Click the Save option. Save As dialog box. Enter the file name first webpage.html. Click Save. Important note: while saving a document, if you do not use the HTML extension with the file name, the document is by default saved with text extension. Viewing an HTML document. You can view an HTML document in any web browser, such as Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox. When a web page is viewed in the web browser, it displays only the information given and formatted in the less than body greater than tag without the tags, elements, attributes, and comments. To view the HTML document in Microsoft Edge, which is the default web browser for Windows 10, follow these steps. Step 1. Open Microsoft Edge. Step 2. Press Ctrl+O on the keyboard. The Open dialog box appears. Step 3. Locate and select the HTML document you want to view and click Open. The file will open in the web browser displaying only the content of the HTML document. Open dialog box. Opening HTML document in web browser. Bonus content. Subject enrichment. If you make any changes in your HTML code, save the changes in the text document, and then press the F5 key in the browser to update the HTML document. Do it yourself. Experiential learning. Try to open the HTML document you have created in different web browsers, such as Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox. Cascading Style Sheets, CSS. Cascading Style Sheets, commonly known as CSS, is a style sheet language used for describing the presentation and formatting of a document written in HTML. CSS defines how elements on a web page should be displayed, including their layout, colors, fonts, and other visual aspects. CSS is a powerful tool for controlling the visual presentation of web content, and it allows for the separation of content and design, making websites more maintainable and flexible. Bonus content. Subject enrichment. The term cascading in CSS refers to the way styles can be inherited from parent elements and can be overridden by more specific rules. Features of CSS. Given below are some features of CSS that makes it very useful for creating web pages. CSS is easy to learn and understand. It makes it easier to maintain the design of a web page. It helps in avoiding repetition of formatting effects applied on the content. It provides a powerful control over an HTML document. It is portable, i.e., it can be used on any device. CSS rule. CSS uses a rule-based syntax. Each rule consists of a selector and a declaration block. Selector. Property, value. Selector specifies which HTML elements the style applies to. For example, less than body greater than. Property, the specific aspect of the element you want to style. Property, the specific aspect of the element you want to style. Value, the value assigned to the property. Important note. The block in which the respective property and value is specified is known as the declaration block. For example, less than selects all paragraphs and sets the color to blue greater than. P. Color, blue. Ways to use CSS. There are 3 ways by which you can apply CSS properties on the selectors of your HTML document. Inline style sheet. This style is the one where the CSS rule and its properties are applied directly to an HTML element using the less than style greater than attribute. It is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. Syntax. Less than HTML element style equals property, value, greater than. Given below is an HTML code that shows the use of an inline style sheet. Less than. Doc type HTML greater than. Less than HTML greater than. Less than head greater than. Less than title greater than my first HTML page less than slash title greater than. Less than slash head greater than. Less than. Inline style goes here greater than. Less than body style equals background color, red, color, yellow greater than. This is a yellow text over red background. Less than slash body greater than. Less than slash HTML greater than. Inline style example. Internal style sheet. An internal style in CSS is a set of style rules that are defined directly within the HTML document using the less than style greater than element. The less than style greater than element is placed within the less than head greater than section of an HTML document. It is used to apply a unique style to one web page. Given below is an HTML code that shows the use of an internal style sheet. Less than. Doc type HTML greater than. Less than HTML greater than. Less than head greater than. Less than title greater than my first HTML page less than slash title greater than. Less than. Internal style goes here greater than. Less than style greater than. Body. Font family, Arial, sans serif. Background color, green. Color, white. Less than slash style greater than. Less than slash head greater than. Less than body greater than. The internal style sheet is applied to the whole web page. Less than slash body greater than. Less than slash HTML greater than. Internal style sheet example. External style sheet. An external style sheet in CSS is a separate file containing CSS rules that can be linked to multiple HTML documents. The externally saved CSS document is linked to an HTML document with the use of the less than link greater than element in the less than head greater than element. This style sheet allows you to separate the structure, HTML, from the presentation, CSS, making the code more modular and easier to maintain. Create a CSS file, styles.css. Body. Font family, Times New Roman. Font size, 30px. Background color, yellow. Color, blue. Given below is an HTML code that shows the use of an external style sheet, styles.css. Less than. Doc type HTML greater than. Less than HTML greater than. Less than head greater than. Less than title greater than external style example less than / title greater than. Less than link grade equals style sheet type equals text / CSS href equals styles.css greater than. Less than / head greater than. Less than body greater than. Blue color text over yellow background. Less than / body greater than. Less than / HTML greater than. Important note. The external style sheet document should be saved with the extension CSS and in the same folder as the HTML document. If the file is saved in any other location, you need to give the complete path of the CSS file. External style sheet example. In this example, the CSS rules are stored in a separate file named styles.css. The less than link greater than element is used in the HTML documents less than head greater than section to link to the external style sheet. The href attribute specifies the path to the CSS file. Bonus content. Subject enrichment. Using internal styles is convenient for small projects where styles are specific to a single HTML document. For larger projects or when styles need to be shared across multiple pages, external style sheets are often preferred for better maintainability and separation of concerns. Do it yourself. Interdisciplinary, science. You can also set an image as background of the web page using the background image property of CSS. Create the following CSS file and use to as external style sheet in your web page. Body. Font family. Times New Roman. Font size, 30px. Background image, URL, humanbody.jpg. Color, yellow. For the teacher. Begin the chapter by giving examples of simple web pages that the students might have seen online. Tell them about the various web page designing tool. Demonstrate the steps to create and save an HTML document using Notepad. Introduce the concept of CSS and how it can be used in creating an HTML document. Encourage students to create basic web pages using the tags studied in the chapter. Let us revise. Hypertext Markup Language, HTML, is the standard markup language used to create web pages in the form of documents to be displayed on the World Wide Web, www. The word HTML is made up of two terms, hypertext and markup. Hypertext refers to the interconnected links that allow users to navigate between different pieces of content on the web. Markup refers to the set of codes or tags used to structure and format the content of a web page. HTML follows a set of rules and guidelines to ensure that web pages are properly structured and can be displayed correctly by the web browsers. An HTML editor is a software application that can be used to create and save HTML documents. There are two main types of HTML editors: WYSIWYG editor and text editor. Different components that together make up an HTML code include elements, tags, and attributes. HTML elements are the building blocks of a web page that define the structure and content of a web page. The opening tag indicates the beginning of an element, and the closing tag indicates its end. An HTML element that has both opening and closing tags is called a container element. An HTML element that has only the opening tag is called an empty element. Every HTML document consists of 4 major container elements: less than, doc type HTML greater than, less than HTML greater than, less than head greater than, less than title greater than, and less than body. Cascading style sheets, commonly known as CSS, is a style sheet language used for describing the presentation and formatting of a document written in HTML. CSS defines how elements on a web page should be displayed, including their layout, colors, fonts, and other visual aspects.